Section 22.3 talks about the cost of stock. So what is included in the cost of stock? Now, I'm going to start just here at the bottom by showing you that it tells you that the cost of stock is basically all of the costs incurred by the taxpayer, including import duties, transport, handling costs, and all of the other costs that the taxpayer would pay to get it to their premises. But it does not include selling expenses and general overheads and forex gains or losses. So it's very similar to the IFRS treatment. So it says, for purpose of this section, the cost price at any date of any trading stock shall, subject to subparagraphs IA and II, be the cost incurred by such person, whether in the current or any previous year of assessment, so it doesn't matter when you spend it, to acquire such stock, plus any further costs incurred by such person in terms of IFRS, up to and including the said date in getting such trading stock into its then existing condition and location, but excluding any exchange differences relating to it. Right, guys, so as you can see, similar to IFRS. Section 22.3 then says, the most important one I just want you to see here, in the case of any trading stock, which is in terms of paragraph 12.2c, treated as having been acquired at a cost equal to market value, it will be the market value. Now, what are they talking about here? Paragraph 12.2c, this is a CGT section. It's a deemed disposal section. It is when PPE, so an asset, is converted to trading stock. So remember, with deemed disposals for capital gains tax purposes, you will say proceeds equals market value, base cost will be whatever base cost is. So you are treated as if you sold it at market value to yourself and that you bought it as trading stock. So you'll get a deduction for the stock at market value. So you would have calculated CGT and recoupments using market value, and then you will get a deduction for the market value as if you had purchased it from yourself. We can also find situations where you acquire stock but you haven't paid for it. So if you inherit it or someone makes a donation to you, you can still get a deduction for it. Why? Because that amount will be taxed as gross income, and if it's closing stock, it will be added to gross income. So they want you to have a deduction for it as well. So it says, if any trading stock has been acquired by any person for no consideration or for consideration which is not measurable in terms of money, such person shall, for the purpose of subsection 3, which is what we just looked at, subsection 3, be deemed to have acquired such trading stock at a cost equal to the current market price. So if you receive stock from someone, he didn't pay for it, you treat it as if you bought it at market value, so you get a deduction for it. Section 22.5 tells us that you may not use LIFO, last in, first out, as a valuation method. This is the same as IFRS. So no person may, for the purpose of determining the cost price of a trading stock, adopt the basis of trading stock valuation where under the last item of any class of trading stock acquired by him on any date is deemed to be the first item of class of trading stock disposed of him on or after that date. So you may not use LIFO.